So Roger has a question about increasing the size of the preview window, and he's using version 12.5.7. Let's see what we can do for him. The base version of 12.0 came out in December of 2022, and they did offer the switchable workspace. Now, I don't know if that also included the ability to move the workspaces around like you can in the more current versions, but here's something for Roger to try. Now, we can see from Roger's post that he already knows how to switch between the various layouts, so he has presumably used them all, except for the dual monitor. We know that he's not using the default, but he's using the classic layout, which is what we're showing here. And he moved it over as far as he could this way, and he moved it down as far as he could this way, and this is his preview window. Now, he could enlarge it with this. I imagine we probably have to have some media. Let's get some media on the line and stick that in there. And so with some media on the line, he has the ability to expand the view and to the full screen width. Now, this is wider than what he would see, but that's one option, is to use this to expand it so it occupies the entire screen. But there's other ways of doing it if you just want to make some temporary workflow. And that is, you can, let's get rid of this ugly one here because I don't look so good in that picture. While he can move it around like this and this, there's also the ability to grab the header of a section, like, for example, the timeline, and drag that out someplace, and then you can minimize it if you don't need to see that. So now you, without expanding it, you have all this space here. And you can probably move this slightly off screen so that it's not in the way, and you still got the timeline, but here you can now see this much. So those are some options. And then if he wants to restore the timeline from the way it was before, all he has to do is click the X and it's back in place. So if he just needs it for temporary, this certainly is a way you can do it. You don't even have to make it smaller. Just move it off to the side. Then he's got a nice big preview window. Here's just a little bonus tip that I was, while I'm making the video for Roger, that I just thought of. Let's say, for example, that we did use this option here to decrease the size. You can also minimize it, but presumably he would like to have that here. And let's import that one media file one more time. Open it. And let's stick it down here on the timeline. Okay. There we go. Then if you want to see the entire timeline on this shrunken video section here, you just click the Fit to Timeline, zoom to Fit to Timeline. And now we see the entire project right here in this little stretch. So you could still move around, and you could probably still move it off screen and have some of it there. So you still have some of the ability. Likewise, I think if you were to move it up above here and so forth. Let's see here. Let's take the magnetic timeline off, and so let's stretch it up. So presumably, like, say, like this. And we have, you know, like a whole bunch of stuff on the timeline. So we've shrunk it down. We move it over, and we stick some more media on the top of it. Let's see here, something like this, and something like that. So we can see that we can have a large preview window, and still see a number of the tracks, albeit that the track headers are off screen. But at least if you need to move around or whatever, we could fit to screen, then you can still, you can still move around the timeline. So just a bonus tip.